Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and we are back with another video, and this is part 3 to what if Naruto was a generational genius and he was neglected. So I'm so happy that we have finally reached 500 subs, guys. I thank you all for your support. I really appreciate it. Uh, I hope that you can continue showing me support, share my videos with your friends and stuff, and build up a fan base.
And guys, I know I forgot to add the like goal for the previous part and for this part of the what if, like in my previous part. But anyways, you guys still crossed, whatever like goal I would put, which was 10 likes for this part. But anyways, with that said, guys, the like goal for the next part to this what if is 15 likes. And I know you guys love this series and you will cross that pretty easily.
So, anyways, I don't really have much else to say. So, thanks again, and let's get back to where we left off. So, last part we left off with Kakashi announcing the Chunin exams to his team, which were Naruto, Sasuke, and Menma. So, by the way, if you haven't seen the other parts, I recommend that you do because you won't really get this. If you don't see them, you won't really get this. So check out the playlist. So anyways, enough fucking around. So basically, Kakashi announced the tuning exams, and all three of them were pretty hyped to participate. And Naruto was kind of a little bit emo, like a little bit more emo in this version because um of how much he suffered. And not saying that he didn't suffer that much in the original, he did suffer a lot, but then he suffered a lot more here. So you know a little bit emo, so he did keep it a bit to himself and stuff. And Sasuke, she also like showed like a small smile at this, but she didn't really react that much. But Menma, being the knuckle-headed person here, was jumping, and was like, "Whoa, we finally beat Chunin," and he was like, I hope my demon brother doesn't show up." And Naruto was like, "Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but I'm participating as well." So then Menma just uh, stormed off. So anyways, they handed in their uh, what was it, their consent forms or something, um, that Kakashi handed them. Like they had to like fill out forms and shit and give them to the um, to some kind of registration desk or something like that. So basically, they just filled those out and gave them. So now they're all set. And it was told that they had to come in teams of three if they wanted to be Chunin. So when Kakashi told them it was their choice, it wasn't really true, because if like one of them didn't want to go, then the rest of them wouldn't be allowed to go. So you know uh, Menma went home and asked Minato to not let Naruto participate, and Minato was like, "Listen, Menma, I really would like to do that, but it would make me look bad as Hokage since other villages are going to be here, and just for your case, if I remove him, even though I hate him, um, it's not a good thing to do as Hokage." So Menma, Menma just grumbled, but he understood, and then he got on with his day. So uh, like I'm gonna say there's like 2 weeks time before the tuning exams actually started. So during this time, Naruto did train, and uh, last time I didn't say that Naruto, even though he was training with his gentle fist under Hanabi, since he has a Byakugan, um, he also trained her ninjutsu, because since she only had close range combat, she would lose if she had a long range opponent. So Naruto taught her some long range ninjutsus. So he discovered that Hanabi had water and wind chakra natures. So he taught her some water and wind release ninjutsus like the water shockwave and the water bullet and wind scythe and gale palm uh, and wind breakthrough. So yeah, he gave her a pretty nice arsenal. And this basically like took a couple of and since Naruto and Hanabi were training for a few years, Hanabi, slowly perfected these, and she started to take more scrolls and do and learn some more ninjutsus like wind bullets, vacuum bullets, and all that stuff, and water dragon and all that. So yeah, so basically. Um, they're training, and Naruto is training Sasuke and helping her, improve. And let's just say that during the Land of Waves mission, there was a scenario when Kakashi uses Chidori. Like Kakashi was about to use his Chidori on Zabuza until Haku came out. So, anyways, Sasuke saw this, and when she discovered she had lightning, she asked Kakashi to teach it to her, the Chidori. So um, when she came home to Naruto to see Naruto, she told Naruto that she learned, like, she mastered the basics of the Chidori. Like she didn't know, like how to do it to the degree of Kakashi yet, but she knew a few basics basically. So, uh, and she could do it, but it was like a weak Chidori. Like it didn't have like strong piercing ability, and and Sasuke, like, I'm just saying that in this what if she found out that she unlocked the Sharingan when her clan died, was killed by Itachi. So she was actually like training her one Tomoe Sharingan. So yeah, she has a one Tomoe Sharingan right now. So, anyways, so basically, Naruto was like, "Wow, Sasuke, that's nice." And then he was like, "Yeah, I should ask Kakashi Sensei to teach me that as well." And Sasuke was like, "Yeah, it's a very useful jutsu." And Naruto was like, "I can see that." And so Naruto also learns the Chidori, and since he's a generational genius, he masters it. He masters it like in a day because he knows the trick to using shadow clones. So his own genius plus his shadow clones, added a bonus, made him like able to master the Chidori, and he was able to use it like several times, not just four times like Kakashi, because of his massive chakra reserves. So he went home and then he did some experimenting with the Chidori. So he was like, Chidori is a piercing jutsu. So instead of making a fist and piercing through my opponent, what if I make my hand sharper and put my hand flat so that my fingers are the ones that are piercing, and this will like increase the piercing ability of the Chidori. So he did this, and then it wasn't working out. So he was like, maybe I have to lay out the lightning differently around my hand, and maybe I should sharpen it. So in like while he was doing all this development, of the Chidori, he actually created the lightning blade, and he showed this to Sasuke, and Sasuke was like, "Wow, Naruto, you're a genius. This is way better than the Chidori." And she also learned the lightning blade, as she herself mastered the Chidori while Naruto was um, trying to create the lightning blade. So yeah, and then and afterwards Naruto did further experimentation on the Chidori. He was like, uh, like even though I created this lightning blade, it's a very short range ninjutsu. I have to get in close quarters with the opponent. What if I can extend this? And then with this, he created three new jutsus, which was the Chidori Beam, the Chidori Stream, and Purple Lightning. So yeah, his Shikamaru plus Itachi level IQ managed to allow him to create this. So yeah, and then he created all of these, and then he was like, yeah, this is a perfect Chidori, like usage of the Chidori. So he basically showed this to Sasuke, and sorry, Sasuke, because she's a girl. So yeah, and then Sasuke was like really impressed, and she used her Sharingan to copy the techniques. So and then like she did some training to like master her chakra, like how she uses her chakra, like to do those jutsus. So yeah, and then the purple lightning had the longest range, and next was the Chidori stream, and next was the Chidori beam. And by Chidori beam, I mean that shape manipulation that Sasuke, in the original, that the one that Sasuke used to kill Orochimaru, like when he was standing outside his door and stuff. So yeah, that. So anyways, uh, so then like while Naruto and Sasuke were sitting down, like just hanging out and stuff, um, Sasuke was leaning on Naruto's shoulder, as she was pretty comfortable with Naruto by now, and they both liked each other, but they didn't really want to start a relationship yet, because they didn't want you know people to take advantage of their you know they saw it as a weakness to have people to care about and stuff like that, because like since they were alone for such a long time, they um, developed that mentality where they thought that um, and like if you don't what am I saying, let's see, like if you have someone precious to you, then it makes you weaker, because you'll keep caring about them, and if and then an enemy can take advantage of your emotions towards them. So that's what they thought, so they didn't really want to pursue this relationship. But when Naruto continued his training with Haku, because Naruto has ice release since he has every Kekkei Genkai, since he naturally has all five chakra natures, like without actually having to learn them. So basically, he had the ice Kekkei Genkai, and when Haku was training him one day, they're having a little discussion, and Haku was like, "So Naruto, do you have anyone who's precious to you?" And Naruto's like, other than Sasuke and Kakashi Sensei, I guess not really anyone. And you and Zabuza are precious to me as well. And Haku's like, you don't really seem to show that. And Naruto was like, yeah, I try not to get too close to people, because um, if I do, an enemy can take advantage of it. And then this is where Haku gives Naruto that lecture about how having someone to protect makes him stronger and all of that. And without even realizing it, he had Naruto had been actually having more motivation to train to help Sasuke with her goal, and help um, protect Sasuke. And Naruto's like, I guess subconsciously I have been uh, thinking about the safety of everyone I care about, especially Sasuke. And Haku's like, so you really care about Sasuke now, do you? And Naruto was like, he just gave Haku a small smile and was like, yeah, I do. And Haku was like, wow, Naruto, you're already getting some girls, aren't you? And Naruto was like, girl singular, Haku, girl singular. And Haku just laughed and patted him on the back. And Naruto actually, like, this is where Naruto actually started thinking about um pursuing something further with Sasuke, like an actual relationship and stuff. So yeah, and and like after a few days, Naruto asked Sasuke out, and they went to they like were having like a picnic, and they were enjoying the sunset together and all that. And then Sasuke saw a crow fly past him. And don't worry, guys, this wasn't Itachi. This was just like a random crow. So yeah, so Sasuke was like, that crow reminds me of my brother. And then Naruto was like, really? Why is that? And Sasuke was like, well, when he actually massacred my clan, I I tried to kill him using a kunai, but then um, when he just let me stab him, and he turned into a flock of crows. And Naruto was like, it's probably a substitution, but I don't know the real intentions of your brother yet, but that is a very useful technique. And Sasuke was like, yeah, now that I think about it, it is very useful. Do you think we should try to do something like that as well? And Naruto was like, I don't think you can just substitute yourself with crows like that. I think you need a contract. So basically, uh, this crow was actually like a summoning crow. Like it wasn't Itachi's summon, but it was actually a summoning crow. So they actually like caught it, and uh, because they could see how different it was from other crows that they had seen, since it was like a bit bigger, and you know uh, it basically was it seemed more intelligent. Basically, they could sense that it wasn't a regular crow. So basically, uh, they basically they caught the crow. Like I don't need to describe how they caught it. They're shinobi, man, like come on. They just caught it. And the crow actually spoke to them, and it was like, hey, what's the big idea, let me go. And Naruto was like, I'm sorry, little crow. We just were wondering whether we could get a summoning contract um, with the crows. And then the crow was like, I don't think crows really suit either of you. And then basically, Naruto was like, could you please meet your meet some of the other crows if that's possible. And you know this crow was like, fine, I'll reverse summon you guys there. And uh, they made like a temporary summoning contract, and the crow was able to reverse summon them to wherever the crows stay. So let's just say it's like up in the clouds somewhere, like um, I don't know, man. Like, the crows aren't going to be the place where the crows live isn't really going to be relevant here. So yeah. So basically, Naruto, he meets one of the larger crows, and the crows tells him the same thing, that crows don't really suit him, and they don't really want to make a contract with him. And Naruto was like, well, are there any creatures, any other summoning creatures like you? And Sasuke was also there, by the way, with Naruto. So yeah. And then the big crow was like, yeah, there are several. The toads, the snakes, and the slugs are the most legendary summons that I know of. But then among us birds, there are two other types of summons: the eagle and the hawk. And Naruto was like, I really want a bird summon. So could you please tell us how to find the eagles and the hawks? So then you know this scroll, the big scroll that gave them the way, like to find the eagles and the hawk summons. So they're able to find them. I won't really go into much detail about their interactions with the eagles and the hawks. So basically, since Sasuke's spirit animal is a hawk, like in the original, Sasuke actually has a hawk summon, and he has a lot of stuff that's related to hawk. Like even his like curse mark mode is like a hawk kind of thing, like with wings and shit. Like and he also uses the hawk metaphor a lot. So yeah. So Sasuke gets the hawk summon, and Naruto gets the eagle summon because the eagle actually reminds Naruto of you know um, it actually is kind of like it kind of symbolizes Naruto's heritage. Like the eagle is like a really fast bird, and Minato's a yellow flash and shit. So Naruto's able to relate to the eagles more, and Naruto gets the eagle summon. So basically, over these 2 weeks, Naruto and Sasuke learn how to use their eagle summons, and you know summon a large eagle. And the eagles can actually do hand signs like toads, but then like while flying they can do it with their feet. So yeah. um, and also since they're birds, they specialize in wind release. So yeah. And um, and Naruto and Sasuke mastered the eagle and hawk substitution and eagle and hawk clones. So, and unlike crows, these eagles and hawks, they're like really similar. So, but they both like screech in the opponent's ears and attack them with their talons and beaks. So you know this makes this kind of like catch is to like catch the opponent off guard and cause a lot of damage. So yeah, they're actually way better than crows. So the difference between the eagle and the hawk summon is that even though both of them are birds and both of them have wind release as their main ninjutsu, uh, they also have like secondary chakra natures, which and eagles are affiliated mostly with lightning because they're really fast, and um, it's just like um, like whenever I think of an eagle, for some reason, like the main element I think about is lightning. So yeah, I'm just going to say that. And for hawks it's fire because you know Sasuke is an Uchiha, so fire release and shit. So yeah, so that's going to be the main difference. Otherwise they're like all almost completely similar. So yeah. um all of this happened during the 2 weeks before the Chunin exam started. And now we skip to Menma. And this is like still during the 2 weeks, like what Menma was doing while Naruto and Sasuke were doing their the stuff that I said just now. So basically, while Sasuke was walking alone, she saw Menma with some of his friends bad mouthing Naruto, and this really pissed her off. And normally when she was with Naruto and she heard this happening, Naruto would just stop her from doing anything because he wanted her to keep her cool. So, but then now she was alone, so she went up to Menma and she was like, "Stop talking about your brother like that." And Menma was like, "Oh, brother, more like a demon." And like, and this is like after Menma's friends like kind of went away when Sasuke came because they knew Sasuke was strong, so they didn't want to mess with her. So, but then Menma had like his ego, so you know, he thought that he could stand up to her. So Sasuke was like, I warn you to stop talking about your brother like that. He's your brother, have some respect for him. And if he wanted to, he can kill you." And Amenma was like, "Huh, kill me. I'm the child of prophecy. I can't be killed by demons scum like him." And Sasuke basically punched him so hard that one of his teeth actually fell out. And so and then Menma actually got knocked out. So and this was like in the forest, so like no one really saw Menma, saw this happening. So Menma was lying unconscious in the forest, and this is when Menma went into his mindscape, and he was able to look at Kurama. So um, he looked at Kurama, and he was like, "Impossible! I have the nine tails in me." Uh, Wait, actually, no, he doesn't say that. And he was like, "What? The Nine Tails? What are you doing here?" And Kurama was like, uh, like Kurama was actually like sleeping in his cage. So he was like, "Hmm, you ignorant little kid. Can't you see can't you see that I'm sleeping? How dare you disturb me?" And oh shit, I forgot to do the cool Kurama voice again. I'm gonna do it later. So, anyways, Menma was like, but why am I in front of you? Why are you in a cage? Like, where am I? And Kurama was like, "This is your mindscape, kid. Don't you know that? Are you so weak?" And I didn't do that properly, but allow it. Menma was like, "My mindscape? Why? What are you doing in my mindscape?" And Kurama was like, "I was sealed inside you. Do you not remember? And do you not know? Did you never sense me?" And Menma was like, so that time when Mizuki Sensei, when he was about to attack me, and someone knocked me out, like when I was using when I was in that angry state, that was not a dream. That was you. And Kurama was like, "Yeah." And Menma, he was like, I have the demon fox inside me too. But my brother's supposed to be the demon, not me." And Kurama was like, "I your parents never told you, huh?" Wait, he was like, Your parents never told you, huh?" Crap, no, that's not gonna work. I'm just gonna do Kurama in my normal voice, like a little bit more menacing, guys. But he was like, "So your parents never told you, huh?" And Menma was like, "What are you talking about? My brother only has a demon fox sealed in him, not me. Uh, if you, what are you doing here? Why are you in my mindscape?" And Kurama was like, he explained everything that happened, with Minato sealing half of him inside Menma and half of him inside Naruto, and Menma was like, then why wouldn't they tell me about this? And Kurama was like, I'm not exactly sure, uh, but then I noticed that um, wait, actually Kurama wouldn't notice because he was in the custody of Hiruzen while Minato and Kushina were being treated. Wait, shit, in the first part I said he was in the custody of Hiruzen, but then I said Hiruzen was injured, so Danzo gave him the pill. I'm just gonna say that Kakashi took them under custody, okay, guys? So, yeah, it was actually Kakashi who took them under custody until Hiruzen, Minato, and Kushina recovered. So, yeah, I'm sorry for changing it so much, guys, but uh, your arguments with me in the comments really make a lot of sense sometimes, so yeah, I have to change it a little bit. So, anyways, yeah, and Kurama was like, "I'm not so sure, kid, but don't you dare disrespect me by calling me that." And Menma was like, "But you're the demon fox, you destroyed the village." And Kurama was like, "Whatever, I'll have my revenge when I get out of you." And Menma was like, uh, "I'm the child of prophecy, you can't do anything to me." Like, because he still had his ego, and Kurama was like, "If I wanted you, I could kill you. If I wanted to, I could kill you, but You're my vessel, so I'd take a long time to reform after you die, and I don't want to wait that long. And Menma was, Menma was like, "See, I told you can't kill me. You're just scared of me because I'm the child of prophecy." And Kurama got pretty pissed at this point, so he kind of like extended his claw outside his cage, and that's literally like how much would fit outside the cage, because um, there's like this invisible barrier from preventing Kurama from going further, and Kurama just flicked Menma, and Menma just flew in his mindscape, and um, he got knocked out again, and he woke up in the real world and noticed all that happened, and like he remembered his encounter with Kurama, and he was like, "That must have been a dream. It has to be a dream. I can't be a demon too." And but then Kurama, like while Menma was still awake, Kurama actually spoke from inside him, and he was like, "That wasn't a dream, kid. If you call your brother a demon, then you're as much of a demon as him. You call him a demon just because of me, don't you?" And Menma was like absolutely flabbergasted, and absolutely baffled at uh, this new information that he found. So basically, like when he went home that day, he told Minato and Kushina about this, and then uh, when Minato and Kushina didn't believe him, um, Menma actually talked to Kurama and was like, "Is there any way I can, get my parents to see that I have you inside me?" And Kurama was like, "Just connect your chakra with theirs, and they'll be able to enter your mindscape." And Menma was like, "All right," and um, you know, he put his hands on Minato and Kushina's foreheads, and connected his chakra with theirs. So Minato and Kushina went inside and saw that the nine-tailed fox was inside Menma. So um, Minato was like, "Impossible! The the demon fox inside my other son too!" And then yeah, he's inside Menma as well. And then Kurama was like, "Didn't you know you're the one who sealed me inside him?" And then Minato was like, "But, why would I do that?" And Kurama was like, uh, "Well, if you didn't do that, the village would have gotten destroyed. And Menma and your other son are the only ones who are keeping me from rampaging and destroying the village." And Minato was like, "Oh no, what did we do? What have we done? Uh, Menma is a Jinchuriki too, and he also has a demon fox inside him." And you know, uh, like slowly they started getting flashbacks about like what happened before and how they used to be, and then uh, and this is basically the cursed pill wearing off, and all of their um, and it was like slowly wearing off. It wasn't going to like go all at once, but then they got like a few flashbacks, and they're like, What are these weird memories inside my head?" Like both Kushina and Minato were saying that, and then you know but then they shrugged it off and said that we must have forgotten somehow in that accident. And but then they still weren't ready to take Naruto back, because you know they still hated Naruto, but instead of before, where they hated him because of the Nine Tails, right now they couldn't really tell why they hated him, but they just hated him. And this is just the cursed pills influence. So uh, basically, like the thought of Naruto just didn't sit well with them. It disgusted them because of how much they hated Naruto. And you know uh, but then like there's they're going to come around soon basically. And you know and Minato and Kushina are like, Menma, you must keep this a secret, okay? I can't have you telling the rest of the village that you have the demon fox inside you as well. You see how everyone treats your demon brother. I don't want you to be treated the same way, because you're going to learn to control the Nine Tails. And Menma was like, fine, I'm the child of prophecy, so I'll learn. And Minato just smiled at Menma, and they continued on with their day. So yeah, and now the tuning exams were going to start, and first Menma, Sasuke, and Naruto all entered you know um, the exam building. So this is where Naruto and Sasuke noticed the Genjutsu cast over the second floor, when they actually had to go to the third floor. Like, the third floor is second floor is basically disguised as a third floor. So uh, Naruto and Sasuke immediately saw through this, but then they wanted to see how long it would take Menma to find out, just like as a little prank. So yeah, a little, like, test for Menma. So they both like were walking around, and they met Team Guy. I think this is where Team Guy was. So yeah, they met Neji, Lee, and Tenten. So uh, so basically, Neji knew that Sasuke was a Rookie of the Year because they intentionally failed Naruto, and Neji didn't know about them intentionally failing Naruto and stuff. But he thought that Sasuke was a Rookie of the Year. So yeah, he was like, I look forward, and like he basically like saw that Sasuke was also powerful, but and he recognized her face from the academy like portrait of this Rookie of the Year, but he didn't like know the name. Like, I'm just going to say that, and then he was like, you look pretty strong. You're Rookie of the Year, aren't you? What's your name? And Sasuke was like, uh, should if you know that I'm Rookie of the Year, shouldn't you know my name? And also, it's impolite to ask for someone's name without offering your own first. And Neji was like, hmm, okay, you want to play it that way? And Neji just walked away. And Lee was like, Sasuke Uchiha, the last living Uchiha, last living Uchiha. I challenge you. I want to fight you. And uh, Sasuke was like, let's take this somewhere a bit more, open. And um, Lee was like, all right, sure. And then they all went to like an empty room. So Uh, so then Sasuke was like, so what type of fight do you want to engage in? And then Lee was like, just a taijutsu fight, because we don't want to use ninjutsu to destroy this place. And Naruto was able to see, was able to notice like Lee's weights, and you know he was able to see Lee's chapped hands, and like calloused hands, and how, and he was able to like see how hard Lee trains. And then Naruto was like, Sasuke, be careful. He's a very strong opponent, even though he may not look like it. And Sasuke took Naruto's advice, and she basically activated her Sharingan so that she could notice Lee's movements better. So basically, Lee was like, this is not a ninjutsu fight. Your Sharingan will be useless." And Sasuke was like, "Who told you that the Sharingan's only useful for ninjutsu?" And Lee was like, you know, he just started the fight, and he started to fight Sasuke. And Sasuke was bodying him since he still had his weights on. And Naruto's like, if you want to be a real challenge to Sasuke, I suggest you take your weights off. And Lee was like, how do you know I was wearing weights? And Naruto was like, it doesn't matter. But uh, but then if you really want this fight to be interesting, I say that you should take off the weights. So Lee took off the weights, and you know it was much more evenly matched. But at the end, Sasuke got knocked down, and but Lee was like exhausted and he collapsed as well. And Naruto said that since Lee was left standing for a little bit longer than you know um, Sasuke, Lee wins. So yeah, and then Sasuke was like, but I guess if I use ninjutsu, I would have beaten you. And Ali was like, we'll see about that later. And then, Sasuke and Naruto thanked Lee for, um, and Sasuke thanked Lee for the fight, and Naruto, said that Lee was a strong fighter, and if he continued working hard, he would become even stronger. And this really made Lee happy because, uh, like, Naruto was one of the few people who acknowledged Lee's effort and was able to see, how hard Lee trains. So, Lee was like, I wish you the same, Naruto, and I hope that your life as a shinobi, you know, and what am I saying? I hope that you become a lot stronger as well, Naruto. And you know, Lee goes away, and Guy Sensei notices the good sportsmanship of Kakashi's team, and he's like, "Ah, Kakashi, you got yourself a nice team, haven't ya?" And he just goes off on his own. Um, with the students. So yeah, and now you know Menma. By this time, Menma finally recognizes the genjutsu, and he's like, "Guys, this floor is under a genjutsu. The test is on the third floor." And Naruto and Sasuke were like, "It took you this long to figure out, huh?" And Menma was like, "You knew? Why didn't you tell me?" And Naruto and Sasuke were like, "We just wanted to see by when you'd figure it out." And Menma was like, so I'm going to get back at you. And Naruto and Sasuke were like, anyways, let's just go and write the exam. So um, they all went inside that room and they were being seated. And then Ibiki came out and, you know, he handed out the exam papers. And he said that there are 10 questions. And, Sakura was there too. So she pointed out that there were only 9 questions. And Ibiki said that the 10th question would be posed after all the 9 are finished, and the time is up for all 9 of them. So basically, um, Ibiki says that if any of them are caught cheating more than 5 times, then they would be disqualified. And um, so then basically, Naruto already noticed that something was fishy about this because he looked at the questions like he knew that he was smart enough to answer them, but he knew that these were like high tuning level questions and these weren't expected for a genin to know when writing the tuning exams. So uh, so basically, he also noticed that two people were confident and they were writing the answers well, and he knew that this must be some kind of trick because if if they really weren't allowed to cheat, then why would Ibiki allow them to do it 5 times before they got disqualified? So you know um, Naruto was like, "Oh, so this is to test our ability to gather information." And you know he didn't say that out loud, of course, but he figured out, and Sasuke also looked like she had figured out. But Menma was, still like thinking like how to even like approach this thing. And Hinata was sitting beside him, and she was since she was like Road to the Ninja Hinata, like more confident and stuff. She just finished her paper and swapped hers with Menma's without anyone even noticing. And she even wrote Menma's name on top because she knew that Menma wouldn't be able to answer the questions. So, but and she liked Menma basically because Menma she thought that Menma was a child of prophecy and stuff. So she liked Menma, so she did she wrote his answers for him, and Menma like silently said thank you to her, and then you know Hinata blushed. So yeah, and then she just like wrote her own like Menma's paper as well and labeled it with her name. So yeah, so Naruto and Sasuke they already knew the answers, but then they wanted to prove that they could gather intel without other people noticing. So basically Naruto used his Byakugan and Sasuke used his Sharingan, and Sasuke used her Sharingan, and you know they were able to finish the test, and they handed it in. So basically after the time was up, Ibiki announced the 10th question, and he was like, um, you know, if you don't answer this question correctly, you all will fail the tuning exams, and you will never be allowed to re-enter. And then everyone except Team Seven were pretty like nervous. Menma wasn't nervous because he was like, "Oh, I'm the child of prophecy. I'll do something to, allow myself to participate again." So, um, yeah, and like Team Seven was confident, but everyone was nervous. And the same people who got through the first exam, they still um, were there. So, Ibiki was like, "Fine, you all pass the first exam," and uh, you know, everyone was confused because they didn't even hear the 10th question. And Ibiki said that it was just to test, how mentally, you know, um, how strong how strong your mind is, to have the courage to continue something that you've started even at such a high risk. So yeah, and then the Anko jumps in through the window, and she says that the second test, she would be the proctor of the second test, and about the forest of death and stuff. And Naruto, he wasn't interested in what Anko was saying, so then he just like leans back and rocks on his chair and stuff, and and he's just looking to the side like while he's doing this, and Anko, she gets irritated, so she flings a kunai straight at his face, and Naruto catches it with two fingers, and he's like, "So you dropped this?" And Anko was like really surprised, and Naruto just flung it back at her at such a high speed. Like he even added wind release to it, and it actually left a cut on Anko's cheek and cut off a bit of her hair. So Anko was like, "That kid is dangerous. How is he a Genin still? He should be at least like high Chunin level, or maybe even Jonin, to be able to catch me off guard like that." And but then she couldn't do anything about Naruto right now, so she just continued explaining about the forest of death while everyone like stared in awe at Naruto. How he was able to like catch a Jonin off guard like that. So basically, Anko led everyone to the forest of death, and she gave them their consent forms, so that you know it was basically a liability release form, so that Konoha wasn't held liable for any injuries or any deaths that happened during the tuning exams. So whoever signed it in the original signed it in this case too, except like the extra team that I created. They also got in as well. So now the forest of death happens. So basically, Naruto, went in the forest of death with the team scroll, which is the heaven scroll. So he was like, I already noticed several teams with the earth scroll, and I'm keeping and I actually planted seeds on them because Naruto has wood cell, remember. So since Naruto has wood cell, he has those little seeds that Yamato can use to track people. So he said that without anyone noticing, he managed to sneak seeds in all of the teams, and he was able to keep track of the ones with the scrolls that they need. So Naruto asked them whether they wanted to, you know, uh, take it slow, or whether they wanted to finish it quickly and just get it over with. And Sasuke was like, we've been training for these past 2 weeks anyways, so let's just take it slow. And Naruto was like, alright then. And Menma was like, so you're so overconfident that we'll be able to win even if you slow us down, even if you slow down like this. And Naruto's like, yeah. And Menma got pretty pissed, but then he knew he shouldn't attack Naruto because they're a team, and if Naruto, like if we somehow managed to hurt Naruto, like I don't even know how he would. If he managed to it severely incapacitate the team, and make it like vulnerable. So he knew that he shouldn't attack Naruto. So basically they just walk on, walk on. So so in like while this conversation was happening, a team of rain ninja, they snuck up on them, and they threw a bunch of ninja weapons, so like shuriken and kunai and shit. But you know Naruto just said wind style, wind propulsion, and then um, or wind repulsion, and then uh, he managed to repel all of the ninja tools. So um, yeah, and then the rain ninja came out, and they were like, "So you think that you can just take this exam lightly, huh? We're gonna show you the power of the rain village." And Naruto was like, uh, I believe they sent the wrong people to do that. And then they're like, what did you say, you little punk? And they tried to attack Naruto, but Naruto just said, lightning style Chidori stream. And the Chidori basically um, attacked all of them and electrocuted them, and Naruto just picked up their scroll, which was an earth scroll. So he was like, so looks like we got lucky. Let's just go to the uh, to that what do you call that central place, to the center of this forest now. I'm just gonna call it that. So yeah. So basically they all start to go there, and then uh, basically Naruto was like, you guys continue ahead. I have to take a short break. Nature calls." And Sasuke just giggled a little bit, and Menma was like, "Huh, whatever, stupid demon." And Naruto just went and went to do his business. So then, right as he was finishing, you know, doing his business, he encountered a huge snake. So then he just looked at it indifferently, and he was like, so I'm supposed to be scared of this thing. And the snake tried to attack, but Naruto just said, fire style, plasma. And a plasma came from his fingertips, and you know and hit the snake, and it literally incinerated it. So basically the snake was like burnt to ash. And Naruto just went to find his teammates, because if uh, if such beasts were there, his teammates might be in trouble. So he went to see this weird grass ninja, looking at his team. And Naruto sensed the grass ninja's chakra, and he was like really disturbed by it. And he was like, ugh, this grass ninja, everything about her or him, or I don't even know what gender uh, it or they, whatever. It's just so disgusting. it just makes me feel like vomiting the chakra, the presence. And then you know but Naruto just walked up to the grass ninja and said, what are you even doing here? And the grass ninja was like, ah, nice, the demon, the nine-tailed Jinchuriki. And Naruto's like, get lost. And then Orochimaru, who still didn't like reveal himself to be Orochimaru, he was like, hmm, maybe I'll have a little bit of my fun first. So then he basically released his killing intent, and this basically freaked out Menma like hell. And but then Naruto, had a load of killer intent himself. So he and Sasuke also had a lot of killer intent, but not as much as Naruto or Orochimaru. And but she was able to withstand the pressure of Orochimaru's bloodlust because Naruto actually trained her while his bloodlust was leaking, so that she could train to fight people with a lot of bloodlust. So basically Sasuke wasn't like affected by this, and Naruto looked at Orochimaru and he just laughed and he was like, "What are you trying to do? Scare us?" And Orochimaru was very shocked as only Menma was like affected by his bloodlust, and he was like. He also thought that Menma was a child of prophecy because word was spreading around Konoha that Menma was a child of prophecy. So he was interested in both Menma and Sasuke. So you know he started attacking them, and Menma actually took out a kunai and stabbed himself in the leg so that his pain could counter Orochimaru's bloodlust. So basically they started fighting Orochimaru, and Orochimaru actually managed to stab Naruto before Naruto turned into a bunch of eagles and attacked him. And Menma was like, "What is that jutsu?" And Naruto reformed elsewhere, but as he was reforming, Orochimaru quickly reached out with his neck and bit Sasuke, and Sasuke actually fainted. So Naruto actually thought that Orochimaru killed Sasuke, and then he was like, "How dare you! You have done it this time!" And then um, his eyes like they morph from the Byakugan to the Sharingan, and it goes straight to Tutomoe Sharingan. So basically Indra and Ashura are like, so he finally unlocked his Sharingan, and Naruto basically started bodying Orochimaru with his ninjutsu. He was like Orochimaru summoned a snake, but then Naruto fired off plasma orbs at all of them and incinerated them. And Orochimaru knew that he couldn't like keep going because he was in a weaker body and he was running out of chakra. So he tried to extend his neck and bite Menma, and he actually managed to lay the curse mark on Menma, but then it disappeared as a bunch of red chakra was oozing out of that area. And Orochimaru was like, I guess it wouldn't work on Jinchuriki. So basically Orochimaru, he was about to reverse summon himself, but then Naruto, he actually chopped off one of Orochimaru's arms, and Orochimaru tried to slither out of his body, but then Naruto jammed a kunai between Orochimaru's lips, so he couldn't uh, get out of his mouth. And Orochimaru already did that body substitution thing before, so Naruto already knew that he could do that. So before he was able to do that, he just jammed the kunai through his mouth. So and then afterwards, Orochimaru was he tried to remove that with his other hand, but Naruto cut that off as well. So Orochimaru was like armless. So basically Orochimaru, like, he knew that he would be fucked if he doesn't do something to get away. So he just body flickered away, and Naruto was like, he'll bleed out soon anyways. That's a waste of time to chase him. So then he picked up Sasuke, and there's like a curse mark over on her neck, and Naruto saw this, and soon they got attacked by the sound ninjas, and Naruto was able to body them, and he managed to send them away. And then Sasuke woke up with the curse marks all over her body, and she was like, "What is this? Why do I feel such negativity? Such strong emotions?" And then Naruto was like, "Oh, this is not a good thing." So then Sasuke was like grabbing her head as she was about to lose control, and finally she like snapped, and then she was trying about to attack Naruto, but Naruto just you know knocked her out and carried her over his shoulder. So when they finally got to a private spot, Naruto, focused, and he was meditating and he entered his mindscape, and then he asked Indra and Ashura about the curse mark, and Indra and Ashura like kind of explained how the curse mark works. Like they didn't know about Orochimaru's in specific, but then they knew that technique, that forbidden technique. So basically, and they also knew about Jugo's clan and all that shit. So yeah, so they told Naruto a way where he could seal away Orochimaru's curse mark. But then Kurama had a better idea. Kurama was like, or you could pass some of my chakra through the curse mark. It would allow him to keep the benefits of the curse mark, but my chakra would defeat you know the piece of soul that Orochimaru put inside Sasuke. And it's literally a Horcrux, man. Like this is a Harry Potter reference. Like Orochimaru is literally Voldemort. Like there's so many memes about that. Like he just puts curse marks on a bunch of people, and then whenever he dies, he can just be resurrected through the curse mark. It's just mad, you know. Anyways, that doesn't really matter. So, anyways, Naruto decided that this was the better option because Sasuke would get a power up in this scenario. So, Naruto actually sent Kurama's chakra through the curse mark and managed to remove Orochimaru's influence. So, Sasuke had a curse mark, and she was able to get the power up of the curse mark without affecting her own, like, mental state. So, yeah, Sasuke got some hacks now. So, basically, like, and also now Sasuke could go straight to curse mark 2 because, you know, since Orochimaru's influence is removed, she had much more control over, the curse mark. So, she didn't have to be put in a near death state to actually awaken the second stage of the curse mark. So, yeah. So, Menma also got the curse mark from Orochimaru, because, like, um, Orochimaru bit him. So he also got the same power up, except like Naruto didn't really have to help him with that. So, and also the marks on their necks disappeared, and if they absorb the nature energy, they would just go straight to Curse Mark 2. So yeah. Uh, Anyways, they continued on with their journey to the center of that forest, and they reached, and they saw that a few teams were there before them, and this was Ghara's team and Neji's team. So they just nodded at each other, like acknowledging each other. So like basically they went into their respective rooms, and they summoned Kakashi from the scrolls. So I'm gonna say it's Kakashi instead of Iruka, because in this timeline Iruka was never like close to Naruto. So yeah. So basically Kakashi comes out of the scrolls, and he was like, wow, you guys did pretty fast. And then Naruto's like, yeah, there are two teams before us who finished before us though. And Kakashi was like, "Wow, that's impressive. Looks like this time the tuning exams have a lot of strong competitors." So yeah, and Naruto's like, I guess so. And all of that interaction happened, and then Kakashi announced, told them that the preliminary rounds would start for the final round of the tuning exams. So basically, uh, like when they all like went into the stands, where the audience was sitting, like the stands that uh, you know that all the shinobi, that all the genin were supposed to like wait for the turn in. Like if you remember from the original series, there are like stands from that kind of protruded out of the straight out of the place where the audience sits and stuff. But whatever. So anyways, Minato was sitting on his Hokage chair at the top of the stage. So he was like, "All right, new Genin, all right, prospective tuning, listen up. So the third exam will be testing your individual capability to fight and to think, and this will this is a round where you all will be fighting each other and see who comes out on top, and we will be judging and seeing whether or not you deserve to be tuning." So the preliminary rounds start, and Minato's like, so look at this electronic board. The names that are shown on this board, like the shinobi whose names are shown on this board, will come to this arena to fight. So so everyone understood, and the match has started. So the first match was Zaku versus Naruto. Like Zaku Abumi versus Naruto Uzumaki. So basically, Zaku was that sand. Sorry, not sand. The sound ninja, who had that ability to uh, shoot like air blasts from his palms and stuff. So yeah, basically he came down and he was like, with that confident smirk, like that overconfident smirk, and Naruto was like, just he just came down with that like indifferent look, and and Zaku was like, "You're gonna lose so badly, kid," and Naruto just ignored him, and the match started, and Zaku pointed his palms at Naruto, and he was like about to fire, but Naruto quickly went behind him and literally sliced off his throat, because he knew that as this new sound village was suspicious, and they were evil people, because they attacked, like basically when they attacked them in the forest, he could sense their evil intent, basically. So he just killed Zaku. Okay, so since killing was allowed in the Chunin exams during Naruto's time, the proctor said that Naruto was the winner, and the second match was announced, and this was Misumi Tsurugi versus Menma Namikaze. So um, Misumi was the bendy guy, the guy who could like twist his body all over the place and shit. So and then Menma came down, and Misumi was like, "You can't defeat me. I'm not as careless as Zaku and all that." So Menma just was like, "Oh, so you wanted you want to try to scare me like that? It's not going to work, okay?" And he was just kind of being um, a bit of a brat. So yeah, because Menma is a knucklehead. So yeah, and the fight started, and Misumi, he was like basically extending his limbs towards Menma, but Menma got out of the way, and you know he got behind Misumi, but then Misumi was like, "You messed up there, kid," and he basically wrapped his arms around um, Menma, like restraining him, and he also like twisted his head around to look at Menma. So basically, Menma was like completely trapped, but then unknown to Misumi, Menma was actually making a Rasengan inside the prison. So and Menma could do Rasengan with one hand. So he basically made a decent sized Rasengan, and he basically obliterated Misumi's arms, and Misumi collapsed, and Menma was declared the winner. So um, next was Ghara versus Lee. This literally happens exactly the same as it does in canon, but except at the last part, since Gara actually was interacting more with Shukaku and all that, Shukaku's influence didn't really get to him as much, and Gara didn't injure Lee and make him get hospitalized. So yeah, and then next match was Tenten versus Sasuke. So you already know how this is gonna turn out, guys. Tenten is like the most useless piece of shit in Naruto. Anyways, Tenten was like, all confident and stuff, and the Proctor started the match, and um, Tenten started throwing her ninja tools, like her useless jutsu. And come on, man, they literally dedicated like a whole episode to how useless Tenten is. Anyways, uh, so Tenten, she did this, and Sasuke, she literally just melted all the weapons with her plasma. So basically Tenten, she just kept firing more and more weapons until Sasuke just got tired of Tenten's weapons, and uh, he just sidestepped and allowed all the weapons to fall to one side, and he said, "Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu," and a bunch of little fireballs went towards Tenten, and one actually hit her, and it burned her a lot. But Tenten was still able to stand, and she was still like trying to fight. But then Sasuke was like, "Give up, Tenten, otherwise it's going to end badly for you." And Tenten was like, "No, I'll never." And Sasuke was just like, "Fine, your choice." And she said, "Lightning style, purple lightning," and then a purple lightning spark between her fingertips, and then it arced all over the arena, and one of the bolts hit Tenten, and this is because Sasuke's mastery over purple lightning wasn't perfect, so uh, um, whenever he used it, it aimed all over the battlefield pretty much. So like basically a circle around the fist in which he uses the purple lightning. So basically, so Tenten gets electrocuted and she gets knocked out, and Sasuke is pronounced the winner. And next was Hinata versus Dosu. So basically, Dosu tries to use his device that you know uh, uses sound vibrations to affect the hearing of the opponent, and he tried to use it on Hinata, but since it was close combat, this was a huge mistake, and Hinata destroyed you know um, Dosu with a gentle fist, and she blocked all of his chakra points, and Dosu was sent to the hospital. And so next was Sai versus Sakura. So basically, Sakura is still her useless old self in this, and she can't even do anything. And she can punch hard, but not as hard as she couldn't like. She could like probably crack a wall, but she couldn't like obliterate it like how she could in Shippuden. So yeah, basically Sai was drawing his animals, and Sakura tried to punch one of them, but then it wasn't working, and the animal just hit her in the head and knocked her out, and Sai was declared the winner. So yeah, and next match is Chino versus Kankuro, and this goes exactly how it did in the original, like that fight in the forest basically when Ghara was transforming during the Konoha crush, all that shit that happened. So basically, Shino just blocked up Kankuro's puppets with his insects, and yeah, Shino pretty much won the fight. And Kankuro wasn't able to use his best puppet because Naruto destroyed it. So Kankuro easily lost. And then next it was Hanabi versus Yoroi. Hanabi Hyuga versus Yoroi Akado. So basically, this was pretty much a stomp in Hanabi's favor because Yoroi favored close combat because of his chakra absorbing hands shit. So basically, since Naruto trained her in using long range ninjutsus, she just said wind style, slicing winds, and both of Yoroi's arms got sliced right off, and you know she said if you don't want to give up now, I have an even stronger version of that. And Yoroi was just angry that she cut off his arms like that. Fine, let's just say she cut off one arm. I don't want to do that just yet. So yeah, she cut off one arm with the slicing wind, and then he tried to attack with the other, but then she said wind style, wind scythe, and she basically removed his other arm and both his legs because Yoroi wasn't able to anticipate it. So basically, Hanabi, um, since Yoroi was unable to fight anymore, Hanabi was declared the winner. And Hanabi was being this ruthless because Naruto told her that if you can sense a malice in your opponent and uh, you think that they cannot be saved, it's okay to kill them. And Hanabi already knew that these people were they sound again like really evil and shit, so she decided to kill them. So yeah, next match was Kiba versus Tamari. So basically this is pretty much a stomp in Tamari's favor. Like first Kiba was like, uh, oh, just a girl, I'll win easily, because Kiba was sexist that way. So he did his man beast transformation, and he started spinning around to try to hit Tamari, but then Tamari just kept blowing him away with her fan, and then Kiba got knocked out like when he rammed into a wall, and um, he fell down unconscious. So since he was unable to fight anymore, Tamari was declared the winner. So next was Neji versus Kin. So basically, Kin is that girl who uses that needle genjutsu with the bells um, attached to the needle. So basically, uh, like when when she shot her needles at Neji, Neji just used like a rotation to block them, and the bells got destroyed. So she didn't have any genjutsu. So so basically, Neji just quickly blitzed her and used a gentle fist to knock out some of her chakra points, and she fell unconscious, and Neji won. So next it was Ino versus Shikamaru, and you guys already know how this is gonna end. Ino tried to put Chino in a mind transfer, but then sorry, not Chino, Shikamaru. Ino tried to put Shikamaru in a mind transfer, but then Shikamaru was able to dodge and use his shadow position to make her lose. So because Ino is kind of as useless as Sakura in part 1, so uh, even in part 2, but then Ino's really hot in part 2, so yeah. Anyways, uh, next was Choji versus Kabuto, and Kabuto didn't withdraw this time actually because I'm just saying that he wouldn't because otherwise the teams wouldn't be even. So yeah, uh, Choji was fighting Kabuto, and Kabuto, like when Choji was about to use his human boulder in Kabuto just said that he was going to give up because he had to plan for the Konoha crush. So yeah, and he had to gather some intel and do some scouting and shit. So yeah, he quit, and then Choji was declared the winner. So now we move on to the 1 month long break. So Minato says that that all of them have 1 month breaks to, you know, um, train for their next matches. And before they leave, he reveals who they'll be fighting next. And the matches are Shikamaru versus Hinata, Neji versus Naruto, Tamari versus Chino, Menma versus Sai, and Ghara versus Choji, and Sasuke versus Hanabi. So, and guys, I'm going to actually make the Konoha Crush happen, like after this round, like in the last round when in the next round when um, uh, like when the winners of this round fight each other basically. So anyways, he announces the 1 month break, and they go and like they all like prepare to train for a month. So basically, as soon as they get out of their you know while Naruto's walking home, Kakashi calls him over and he says that he can't help him train or anything like that during this month because he has to train Sasuke. um, and the reason why he's training Sasuke is because he saw Hanabi's, you know, her power in the Chunin exams, and he thought that Hanabi was actually a ruthless killer. He didn't like know that it was because she sensed how evil the sound ninjas were. So he thought that Sasuke might be in danger, so he wanted a trainer. And Naruto was like, we can all actually train together because I also have a lot of stuff I can teach Sasuke. So basically, Kakashi was like, no, I'll actually take care of Sasuke's training for now because I'll also teach her how to use the Sharingan because she has the three Tomoe Sharingan. Yes, Sasuke does have the three Tomoe Sharingan after she saw, uh, like she developed this after she saw Naruto getting stabbed by Orochimaru, because she didn't know that he already substituted himself for the crows. So she thought that Naruto died, and she unlocked the three Tomoe Sharingan. So since Naruto's was still in the one Tomoe level, Kakashi said that Naruto Sharingan wasn't advanced enough to train Sasuke, so he would train Sasuke. So Naruto understood this and he, left. And Kakashi said that he already found an old contact of his to train Naruto, and of course this had to be Ebisu. So yeah, so basically Naruto saw Ebisu and was like, nope, nope, I'm not training under this fool. And you know Ebisu is trying to be nice to Naruto because Kakashi told him to, but then you could really see that he was struggling. So then Naruto's like, look, Ebisu, I know that you don't really like me very much, and you'd rather be anywhere except here right now. So let's just make a small deal. Why don't you just leave me alone and buzz off, and um, I won't tell Kakashi about this. And Ebisu, I was happy to agree, and Ebisu actually left. And Naruto was just walking around the village, and he went to the public baths because he wanted to take a nice refreshing bath and relax. But he saw someone there, and he was looking over the bridge between the half which was for the guys and the half which was for the girls. And he was like, "Oh, what a perv, he killed my mood. I'm not going to use this public bath today." And uh as he was leaving, Jiraiya was able to sense Naruto's chakra, and um, he actually like caught up to him and body flickered to where Naruto was. And Naruto looked at him again, and he was like, "Wait, I recognized you. You seemed, you seem to be. Are you by any chance the Toad Sage, Lord Jiraiya of Mount Miyoboku?" And Jiraiya was like, uh, "Yeah, I am. I'm pleased to know that someone as young as you knows my name." And Naruto was like, Um, okay, but what are you doing here? I thought that you're a spy for the village. And basically, Jiraiya said that, he was taking a little break and to do his research. And Naruto was like, so you're gonna call what you were doing research? And Jiraiya was like, no, no, I write books. In order to write these books, I have to do research, and if I don't have any clarity in my research, then the book won't be good. And Naruto was like, yeah, sure, you perv. And Jiraiya was like, you just called me a legendary Sanin. You should treat me with more respect. And you just found out, like, you know, uh, you just showed me some respect when calling me a legendary Sani. Why do you stop now? And Naruto was like, Sanin or not, a perv is a perv. And Jiraiya got pretty pissed at this, and his vein popped out, and then he started like shouting at Naruto. And but then, like, anyways, after all that died down, Jiraiya, he could recognize Naruto as Minato's son, and he was like, Naruto, where's your father? How come you're out on your own? Um, Not to say that your father has to be there with you, but you know, uh, how are things with your family and stuff? So Naruto was like, I'm not sure. I don't really talk to them. And Jiraiya was like, what do you mean? Did you like run away or something? And Naruto was like, no, I got kicked out. And uh, Jiraiya was like, who kicked you out? I'm sure that Minato wouldn't do such a thing. And Naruto was like, yeah, both my parents kicked me out, and they treat my brother better than they do me. And Jiraiya was like, but why would they kick you out? And Naruto was like, they keep calling me a demon for having the nine tails sealed inside me, and um, uh, they always ostracize me and make me do housework. Like when I used to live in their house, they used to always ostracize me and make me do the housework while taking beatings from both my parents and my brother, without being able to do anything to them. So Jiraiya was really sad about this, and he was like, I can't believe that my student would actually do this after all my ideals of erasing the hatred in this world. And he was just thinking that to himself, and he was like, so, anyways, Naruto, I heard that the Chunin exams are going on, aren't they? And Naruto was like, yeah. And Jiraiya was like, so, did you make it into the finals? And Naruto was like, of course I did. And Jiraiya was like, alright then. So, I assume you're in a 1 month are you are on a break right now before the next round starts? And Naruto was like, yeah, how did you figure out? And Jiraiya was like, I have my sources. After all, I am a spy. And Naruto was like, yeah, yeah, that's true. And Jiraiya was like, anyways, I want to train you. And Naruto was like, don't you have better things to do, like your research? And Jiraiya was like, nah, I don't really feel like it right now. I'd rather train you. You seem to have a lot of potential. But I'll only accept you as my student if you manage to catch me. And like as soon as Jiraiya said this, his body flickered away. But Naruto could actually see him doing his body flicker because Jiraiya was kind of slow compared to Naruto. So Naruto also body flickered to where Jiraiya was, and you know uh, restrained him. So basically, he was like, "See, I found you," and I caught you. And then Jiraiya was like, I was actually going to give you until sunset, but I guess you are very powerful after all. And Naruto was just like, yeah, I guess you could say that. And Jiraiya just laughed, and he was like, all right then. So do you want to learn do you want to learn how to summon ninja summonings? And Naruto was like, oh, I already have a ninja summoning. and he summoned an eagle, like a large eagle, and Jiraiya was like, that's impressive. But do you want to learn the toad summoning? And Naruto was like, I heard the toads are really powerful. Yeah, of course I'd like to learn a toad summoning. And Jiraiya was like happy, and he made Naruto sign his name into the Toad contract. And Naruto managed to learn summoning jutsu like within a few tries, and he summoned Gamabunta, and Gamabunta was like, I can't believe a little kid like you managed to saying that you actually summoned someone like me. And Naruto was like, believe what you want, but it's true. I did summon you. And, you know, uh, Gamabunta, he said that if Naruto could stay on his head all day, then he would allow Naruto to become his summoner. And Naruto was like, fine, I'll humor you just this once. And then he stood on Gamabunta's head, and then he actually kicked his feet in Gamabunta's head so hard that they created little dents. And Naruto was like, and Gamabunta was like, ah, how dare you, you little kid, you little brat, how dare you hurt me? And Naruto was like, I just wanted better footholds, so yeah. And you know uh Gamabunta just grunted, and started like hopping around, and was hoping for Naruto to you know get off him, but Naruto just stayed rooted there as though nothing was happening. And Gamabunta was like, alright kid, I give up, I'll let you become my summoner. And Naruto was like, oh, thank you. And then Gamabunta was like, you're welcome kid. And all those interactions happened. And then Jiraiya was like, wow, I never imagined that you'd be able to do master that within a single day. So and Naruto was like, well, it was pretty easy. And Jiraiya was like, for you maybe. But anyways, Jiraiya said that he wants to teach him jutsu that he and Minato made, and he shows Naruto the Rasengan. And Naruto was like, I already have something better. And he shows Jiraiya's Ashura's Rasengan. And Jiraiya was like absolutely dumbfounded. He was like, how do you have this? How do you learn this? And Naruto said that he just learned it on his own, which is a complete lie, because uh, Indra and Ashura were the ones who actually taught him, most of what he knows, and Ashura taught him that kind of Rasengan. So, um, you know, um, like Ashura, so basically Jiraiya was like, uh, he didn't even know what to say at this point, and he was just trying to process what Naruto just did. Because like, believe it or not, like Ashura's Rasengan is incredibly powerful. It like shattered Indra Susano. So yeah, uh, Jiraiya was like, so what else could I teach you? And he was like, alright, so I'll teach you some taijutsu. And Naruto was like, taijutsu? And Jiraiya was like, yeah, I actually scored a 5 in taijutsu in my ninja details. And then Naruto was like, wow, that's amazing, I might be actually be able to learn a lot from you. And you know Jiraiya actually helped Naruto develop some finesse in his taijutsu. And you know uh, it was really like, um you know uh, it really made Naruto a lot stronger, because Naruto had a lot of power, but he didn't have that much skill in taijutsu, because you know he's like, even though he trained with Indra and Ashura, he wasn't quite at that level yet. So anyways, Jiraiya helped him perfect his taijutsu over the rest of the month. Yeah, and also while Naruto was doing this, Sasuke was training with Kakashi, and mastering her taijutsu and her Sharingan, and she was also learning to do some genjutsu with her Sharingan. So basically, um, and while this was happening, Menma also was doing training with his dad, and he actually learned a little bit of the flying Raijin. Like, he couldn't spam it like Minato could, but he was able to do it like 5 or 6 times. So yeah, and also one day while Naruto was training, uh, like with Indra and Ashura, uh, Indra was like, so let's change your Sharingan again. Um, we haven't done that at all. So, Naruto was like, yeah, sure. And Indra was like, alright, so pass chakra through your eyes. So when Naruto passed some chakra, and the Byakugan actually activated. And Indra was like, wait, what? You have a Sharingan, why is the Byakugan activating? And Naruto was like, I don't know. And he didn't say it so disrespectfully. He was like, I don't know. And Indra was like, try doing it again. And Naruto just passed more chakra through his eye until it became a Sharingan. So Indra was like, I can't believe it. Even father couldn't. And Naruto was like, What's the big deal? And you know, Indra was like, even the Sage of Six Paths couldn't do what he just did. How did he even switch between two dojutsus? And Naruto was like, I don't know, I just passed a little bit of chakra and then I get the Byakugan. If I pass more of it, I get the Sharingan. I don't understand what's there to fuss about. And Indra was like, you you surpassed the Sage of Six Paths in your skill in using dojutsu. That's amazing, Naruto. And Naruto was like, thank you, Indra, but I still don't get why this Sage of Six Paths couldn't do this. And Indra was like, I don't get why you can do this. And Naruto just chuckled, and he was happy that he had two dojutsus, not just one. He had uh, both the Byakugan and the Sharingan. So yeah, and so that concludes the training period for 1 month. And um, so now that's where I leave off this video. It's already been like really long. So um, yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe, and you know um, spread out word about this channel, with your friends, other people, who watch Naruto and shit like that. So uh, once again, I'm really happy that we reached 500 subs, and we're halfway to 1K, and that's really, you know uh, I'm really grateful for that, and I will definitely be putting out a lot more videos. So uh, anyways, that's enough rambling. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys.